Hey guys, Danny here. Let me try not to rock the boat. In other words, my vanity. Very precariously placed, strategically placed. But we got it. We got lighting. We got camera. So let's go. So I'm playing mom all the time now. So I'm going to try to make this video short and sweet because a 4-year-old's attention span is not that long. And my husband started school today. Well, not today. It feels like today. It's been a couple of days. It's been a bizarre week for us. We got back from camping. We went out in our RV with a bunch of family and friends, and almost all of us got sick. It's been terrible. Lennon is finally feeling better. So now that it's calmed down, but Jacob had to start school in the middle of the week, so it's been kind of crazy to say the least. But now I'm going to be working full-time and momming full-time because Jacob is going to be in school. So it's gonna be a crazy new wild roller coaster, but we're excited about it. So anyway, I got in before we went camping, the day we were leaving the Deviant Moon Tarot. I've waited. Simon, you got me. I've waited a long time. I was like, I'm not getting this. Don't like it. I don't want to see any of it. It's gross. I don't like it. Well, it was constantly in my face. Everybody talking about how like it was turnaround decks for them and it was so great and this, that, and the other, and it broke me. It broke me hard. Miss Tracy too had posted one. She had just got hers in, and I was just like, I'm gonna have to do it. Well, the creator, Patrick Valenza, posted on his Instagram that he was holding a sale for them. So I was like, well, if that isn't a sign. So I managed to snag this thing for 15 bucks and I was excited when it came in. So I like ripped it open, started to look through it and fell in love. I tore through this thing, tore through it because I was so intrigued by these pictures. I had never seen the full deck. I've only seen bits and pieces that people have shown, but I never did a full walkthrough. I've never, seen any of that. And I didn't want to because I was like, if I am gonna get it, like at first I didn't want to because I was like, it's just not for me. And then I was like, I don't want to because I want to be surprised when I get it in. So, yeah, I tore through it. I was so intrigued. So, poof. Breezed right through, and I was like, I have to know more. Because I saw the book on his website, the big book, and I was like, oh, that's a little pricey. I was expecting, maybe like the size of the Wildwood Tarot. Because, of course, I didn't read. I was just like, oh, it's just a book. It's a book, But after flying through this thing, I was like, no, I gotta get it. I have to get it. So I went on Amazon, and by the time I got back the next day, I had this thing waiting for me. Y'all, it is huge. It's huge. Like, I know that it said like 340 pages in color, but like, I did not expect the size of this thing. It is ginormous. So of course I already dove in. But it's beautiful. For those of you who haven't seen anything, it's gorgeous. And he's got sketches and kind of how it progressed. His story is very interesting thus far. So yeah, this is what I'm going to be working on. I have totally been converted to a Deviant Moon fan, 100%. I ran out, got me some fabric, made a little bag, yesterday, because I was like, oh, yes, beautiful. Loved the colors, I thought it was fitting. So, most of you have seen this, but I wanted to kind of go through and show you just a few of my, favorites. I think that's kind of sparked me. And Strength was one of them, because I thought it was so interesting that this seemed to be more of a struggle than what we normally see in strength. Now, fair warning, I've only gotten up to the, I'm on the Empress in the big book. So bear with me, I haven't finished reading this book. Like I said, it's been a crazy week. Otherwise, I'd have already been done. But I just thought that that was so intriguing. The fact that there's such a struggle going on versus a strength that's usually kind of soft and quiet. What else? I found it kind of crazy that this was the only ace that was not a person but a dragon. And this Ten of Swords. The fact that he was trying to hide and somewhere that was safe was then a coffin. But like, you know, I kind of get it as well because, you know, you usually think your friends are all good until they stab you in the back, right? But I just thought that the, sorry, I'm trying to make sure you could see, that just the imagery and the story behind it was so interesting. And I think that's the main thing, that I had no idea the storytelling that this deck was doing, because it really is. It's a full story, you know? The Seven of Cups, there's a full story as to what this artist is doing, trying to, you know, create from his mind and interpret the reality, and it's two totally different things. Like, so interesting. There's one thing though that I read in the book and I was like, I need to know more. This is one of, like, I had gotten literally to the 5th card and was like, I think I'm gonna buy the big book because I need to know what he means. He's got this doll in his pocket, and the book says something that just like sparked me. And you know, we've had a lot of talk about stuff like this recently. He says, his position wields more than spirituality, for religion holds a man like a doll in a pocket. Sold. I have to know all your thoughts. So it was just, I was sold from the get-go. I loved this card as well. The only like huge contrast, and like I said, I have not finished reading, I haven't gotten a lot into it, but this was one of my favorite cards though, pulling through, because I felt like it embodied the Four of Pentacles the way that I feel it should be embodied. This guy is terrified to let go of his money, even though he is basically going to what looks like the pits of hell to me. Like, you can't take it with you, but you will desperately try. And I just thought that that was superb. Let's see. Justice, with these creatures crawling out from underneath, the third hand, having that corruption come out. I had no idea. Why did I wait so long? I guess we always feel that way, right? Just intriguing things. Like, at first this was so like, oh, why? But you know, the more you look into it and listen to the story, and I think out of so many that I have that just kind of retell a tale a lot of the same way. You always have like a couple of different things, you know, but this one has so much of a story. Like, each character feels like it's got its own story. The only other one, I think, now I'm being, you know, just trying to flip through in my head. So I may be wrong in saying this and may correct myself later, but I feel like the only one that I felt had so much more as the Deviant Moon was my Game of Thrones tarot. And I know some people are going to be like, boo, hiss, but I'm a Game of Thrones fan. I've read books. I've read the books. I've watched the shows. So these stories are what play in my head when I use the cards. And we all have our opinions on that, and I do want to do kind of a full review and kind of give my other opinions now that I've worked with it for so long. You know, about how it could have been done better, or it could have, you know, been different. We all have our opinions, but the fact of the matter remains that those characters that are in these positions have these full backstories. We know about them. We know where they come from, their train of thought kind of idea. And I feel like this is going to be that for me, because each character is so distinct. The Page of Pentacles has literally created himself. And now what to do with this pentacle? These plague masks, the facial features, which I thought I would hate, but I don't. Look at that bobbin. We call that a bobbin. Just that sad face with that plague mask. There's so much that can be gotten from these faces that I didn't expect to. She's one of my favorites. Let me see what else. I literally gasped when I saw the World card. Gasped. She's gorgeous. I love her so much. And you know, he drew her so differently than everything else. And I don't know if because, you know, she was an actual, like, sort of like a mermaid, but like all the other women have like the pointy breast and these different angular features, and she doesn't. She's very rounded, and I thought that that was very interesting. And it's her and the one on the Two of Cups, I believe. Where is she? That is made very, yeah, very fluidly and rounded, more so than most of the other like prominent figures, you know, like where is she? There's the star. How they're very angular. Hey babe. Mom duty. So another one that I loved is like he gave them something to celebrate, right? Like they've overcome this monster. Oh, this one. You know, often about teamwork and coming together, where like I feel like they're literally creating each other as they go. And when you really think about that, when you work with a team and when you come together for a singular cause, you change each other, you know? And it was, can you tell I'm super fangirling now? Who'da thunk it, right? Oh. And I do love this image. How like there's that, can you see? There's that tear, and like this is about to get messy. So interesting. So interesting to me. Let me see if there's another one. Oh. So still, the Hermit gives me anxiety just looking at him. Like that's what I feel, that like I can't breathe. He's dynamic. And I love this little dude. He reminds me of something that I've seen before, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but I love him. I love him. I am a fangirl. And I love the strange little house. Like I'm super into the world of fantasy, right? So I'm a Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, Harry Potter, things of that nature, right? Obviously Game of Thrones and magic and lore and everything wrapped together. And this just looks so magical to me. Like I love the fact that they have this hand fasting going on, but the strange house that reminds me something like something out of, you know, one of the fantasy realms that I'm familiar with. It just sparks that for me. Let's see if there was anything else. I'm a fan of this card. I haven't figured out why yet. I think it's because like I really like her, but like there's something about this card that speaks to me. Like I was flipping through and I came to this card and I was like, sorry, my eye itches. Who knows? And I saw this card and I was like, oh, like I want a print of this to place somewhere because I like her so much. I might have to think on this. I don't quite know why, but I love her. So yeah, I could go on a bazillion hundred years, a bazillion hundred, and talk about this deck, but I just wanted to say how huge of a fan I am now and how utterly surprised I am. And thank you, friends. Thank you all for showing me the error of my ways and avoiding this deck for so long. Just for the simple fact that maybe I was a little scared of it. I was a little scared of what it would bring up. I was a little scared of the images because they seem nightmarish, or they seemed nightmarish, whereas now they don't feel that way to me. Oh, and I did get 2 cards with it. You guys, I think this is from his, oh gosh, I don't know the name of it. Something Della Luna, maybe? I'm sure you guys know. But I got the 2 of coins, which is beautiful. And then the Beast, which I believe is from his Oracle. And I'm gonna want it. Yeah, so I'm a fan now, guys. So thanks for watching and sharing this with me, and I'll be back soon. Mwah.